Okay, ready?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Hey guys, it's Tori O'Neill, founder of the Mighty Dames, and we're back for another interview. And today we are joined with Kim. Hello, Kim.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
I nervous actually. Nervous.
What? Oh my God, like you should so not I can guarantee you this will probably be the chillest interview.
This is like my first interview really. And then,
Oh, snap.
I remembered right before I went to sleep, and so I like overanalyzed all the conversation, and it's probably not gonna go anywhere near as what I imagined it to be. So
Look, no, seriously, like we have fun on these. And
great.
yeah, it's fine. I like to say that I'm a super serious person and like I really dug in and looked for the hard questions. I'm pretty sure I'll be asking you about candy eventually during this because it's like it's interesting. Let me just say I'm digging your background. The plants are very
Thank
very
you.
nice.
Thank
Very,
you.
very
I'm
fresh, very lively. I like it.
kind of a little bit of a bohemian vibe here at my house. So
Doing there. So why don't you let everyone know? Let's do your BJJ stats, like your belt, where you train, how long you've been training, all of that.
I am a two-stripe purple belt. I've been training for about 7 years. I started at Combative Sports Center in Manhattan, Kansas. But my best friends opened a gym in Abilene, Kansas. So I train there twice a week as well. And that's at Never Surrender MMA.
Okay. So the question we always have to ask is why jujitsu? Like what got you? This is not this is like people don't just wake up and like I'm going to go grapple people. Like why this sport?
Oh, gosh. Okay. Well, I'm just a little odd.
Mhm.
There used to be a show on called Bully Beatdown on
Oh
MTV.
my God. Yes. Yes,
Yes.
I know this show.
Yes. And I always wanted to feel what it was like to get kicked in the thigh by an MMA fighter. I have since changed that philosophy. um, but I really love doing those Taibo tapes. But
Oh my God, the Taibo when they're like,
yes, yes. But Billy Blank didn't know when I paused the TV, and so you know,
that's
I
so
really
awesome.
liked it. But he's not a great motivator when he's not in the room with you.
Yeah, yeah.
So, a friend of my son's actually trained MMA,
Okay.
and just on a whim, I started working out with him, and I loved it. Oh my gosh,
Yay.
absolutely loved it. Well, we just did the kickboxing part, and it
Okay.
was just so nice and so cathartic to be able to put the whole entire world away. As women, we worry about what's for dinner, deadlines, kids' homework, everything. And it was just so nice to just not think, especially for
Yeah.
me because I'm an overthinker.
Hmm.
But then he went away, and I was like devastated. And I was like, what am I going to do now? I'm kind of on this roll. I'm kind of digging it. I learned how to put my boxing gloves on without any help, so I was like
Okay.
really into it. And I found this gym online. Well, there's actually three in my area, and one was kind of like a Cobra Kai-esque,
Gotcha. Gotcha.
place, and
You
another was,
get one pair.
yeah,
That's choice number one.
yeah, and another was kind of like soccer moms kickboxing to music, and
Gotcha.
then I found Combative Sports Center, and um, yeah, that was a long time actually getting into jiu-jitsu because I was overweight and
Mhm.
old. And when I walked in, I walked into this gym full of hot, fit, young men that could be calendar models. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing this. um,
So a little bit of intimidation.
oh my gosh, a lot. And so I was like really in my head. And it took Joe Wilk, my instructor, a year and a half almost to convince me to start doing jujitsu.
Okay.
And then he would plan it right before I did my workouts with him because I lived an hour away from my gym. And so that way I couldn't just like run home and, forget,
Oh,
my
I love
cat
him.
missed me, or,
Oh, he
laundry
set
needed
you
to be.
up.
Yes, he did. And I
Good
started
job.
Yeah, I started it and I hated it. Oh, I hated it so much. Um, because it was like getting picked last for gym all the time because, I'm in my head and everybody was gearing up for a big fight. So they had their favorite training partners and they weren't doing it to me on purpose. It was just the way I felt. And it took probably a good 6 months before Joe said, I'm throwing you in your tournament and you're doing this. And I'm like, okay. And then I've been hooked. So, and
Yo,
now I'm,
Joe's
yeah,
the
it's,
best. So did you hate it so much because it was like you felt like the odd person out, or was it just like, because jujitsu to me, it was a lot more like, even though I know it involves the whole body, it felt like so much just more than anything I had done before.
well, yeah, I mean, because you're in positions that normally you're not in unless, you're with, an intimate partner.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so my
I
first
got
day,
you.
yes, my first day, I'm partnered with this guy who's new as well. And um, we got taken aside and we were doing the arm trap and roll from the mount position.
Yeah.
And so she's like, okay, straddle him. And I'm like, I'm like,
Like straddle who?
yeah, I'm like, I don't know. This is, and I kind of look around. I'm like, okay, if other people can do it, I can do it. So, I get on top, and this guy's face is red, and I'm red. And then he bridges up, and, next thing I know, my boobs are right in his face, and I'm mortified. And he is mortified, which makes me mad because he's mortified. And I'm like, well, no.
Well, actually, you're welcome, but fine then. Be that way.
Exactly. And it just felt so unnatural and so ungraceful. And, like I said, I was really into myself, just in this shell. And every move that I tried to do, because when the instructor does it, it's just like smooth and seamless. And
It's like, ooh, dude. It's like this, and then like you try, it's like, yeah.
exactly. I felt like, a elephant on roller skates on an ice rink trying to do this move, and it was not working for me, and I hated it, and I wasn't used to that close contact, and so it was just different for me.
No, I'm glad you mentioned that because I was exactly, I didn't, in general, I just didn't like people to touch me. Like, just don't like people in my space. I want to say my first class was my teammate Rita. So I was with a girl, but she's like 5 foot nothing, I'm this big girl. And the first thing she does, and she's so friendly. It's almost intimidating how like okay with everything she is. And she's like super encouraging too. So the first thing she does is pull me to the mat and pulls me into her guard. And I'm just like, what is this? I was like, what? She's like, okay, so you put your hands on your hips and I was like, oh, please stop. Like, so I had no warning. I was just, next thing I know, I'm on my knees in between this stranger's legs. I was just
exactly.
I'm just like, this is very cool. So we are just going to be like okay. Cause they tell you what you're doing, but then they put you in the position. You're like, oh, okay. Just no space here. Cool.
No, exactly. Awesome. And Joe walks by, he's like, welcome to jiu-jitsu. There's no personal space. And I'm like, got it.
So why did you stay? Why didn't you just say, you know what, this is not for me, I'm going to leave?
Honestly, I didn't want to disappoint Joe. And, looking back, he probably wouldn't have cared. But when I first started with him, this is my first time being with a personal trainer. And he was 45 minutes late, and I was pissed. Oh, sorry. I didn't know if I could say bad words.
Oh, well, you've clearly never heard some of my other interviews. That's
and so we actually left, and I was so upset. And my husband at the time, he's like, I've never seen you be this passionate before. Are you sure you want to leave? And I'm like, no. So we go back, and Joe's client that was waiting there for him, Joe walks in and he says, get started. And the client jumped up immediately and went. And I'm like, oh, okay, this guy respects Joe enough, you
Mhm.
know. So when I had my first session with Joe, then Joe was right there counting with me. He was very intent, and he just wasn't like, okay, go do 15 reps of this and
Yeah.
come back. So he was very,
Involved in your development.
thank you, yes.
Mhm.
So, and that made me respect him. And so, I didn't want to disappoint Joe. So,
No, you know, sometimes that's really good though. That what that says off the bat is that you found a very supportive environment.
oh,
Because he
yes.
was there. If he's in there, like really, even though yes, we pay them, but like you said, they're a personal trainers who are like, okay, here's the workout, go ask me any questions, got you. So that's good. And it seems like from what you said so far, he was like on you through jujitsu too. Like, hey, we're gonna do this, and you go over there and do that, and well, you're gonna compete soon, so
He was. And I tell him all the time that he's like the fixer of the broken, because he just knows what everybody needs. And this is so exactly what I needed. I needed this in my life.
that's
So,
awesome.
yeah,
Yay, Joe.
I know.
Hi, Joe. Just good job, Joe. Okay, so you said he put you in a competition, and pre-COVID, you competed pretty regularly.
Um, After that, and I lost, and then I won. It was, I had to go against my own teammate, which really sucked. It was
Mhm.
my first time. I'm such a good girl, never had any confrontation in high school. I'm always the very passive. Sure, you can call me whatever names, whatever.
Like it doesn't even bother. He's like,
Yeah, yeah. Um, but so having that be against a teammate that her personalities and I didn't mesh really well, and nobody was there to coach us, and then I lost badly, and I was mad, and I'm like, this is gonna happen again. And it didn't. And I actually had my first confrontation off the mat there too. That's an interesting story. But I'm so proud of myself, because I was like, I won't get into the whole situation because respecting people's privacies, but I was very happy that I was able to go up to that person, speak, articulately and intelligently, and say, this is not cool. I don't like this. This isn't the way that we should be, supporting each other. And I got my point across, and I was like, oh, I can stick up for myself now. This is awesome.
So it kind of helped you get that confidence, you just like that extra oomph to just express yourself.
It did. So,
good.
And, I've just been gaining confidence ever since.
That is so awesome. That makes me happy, because like that's one of those, when people talk about sports in general, they talk about the secondary traits you get besides just competing in the sport, and one of the big ones that they always talk about is confidence. It's just when you develop a skill and you can do that skill, you become confident in it, and then it just transfers through other ways of life. Like you're like, why am I being quiet about this? I'm gonna say something. Yeah. Is it with you? Because like in my head, sometimes when I'm like, I have a very passive personality too. Not as much now as I used to, but I used to let a lot of stuff slide. I just wouldn't let it bother me, because I was like, man, what's the point? But now I have this voice that like sits in the back of my head. It's like, there is a point. You need to say something now, or they're gonna think you're gonna get away with it. Literally having that conversation back and forth in my head is like, no, it's not that serious. Like, oh, but it could be serious. You need to say something now, because in 2 weeks, what are you gonna say then? It's like, yeah. Hey, we need to talk.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
That's awesome. So we first became aware of each other through an article you wrote for Girls and Geese called Big Girls Don't Cry, and which I love. But both of us are ambassadors for Girls and Geese. So how'd you get involved with the Girls and Geese program?
It was through Amber Haynes. She's also a Girls and Geese ambassador in Kansas. And Amber and I've attended a couple seminars at her school, and I just, ever since I started jujitsu, I wanted to make sure, because I felt uncomfortable, that I wanted to make sure everybody else felt comfortable. So I'm always, taking people aside. Hey, do you have any questions? If I can't answer them, I'll direct you to somebody who can. And let's get comfortable in this uncomfortable sport together.
Yeah. Okay.
And she just reached out to me one time, and she's like, hey, would you like to be involved? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. So I think it's a wonderful platform, and I was all on board.
That's literally how it happened with me. As we had an event over here, and Shama was there. She's like, "Hey, Tori." I was like, "Hey, Shama, you want to help out?" I was like, "Sure, why not?" And next thing you know, I was like, "Oh, I guess I'm doing this." I think I'll go back to my coach. Like, I think I'm working with girls and geese now. I'm not really sure, but we'll find out when they come back. And
there we go.
It was like a year and a half ago. I was like, yeah, I am definitely involved now. So the article you wrote, Big Girls Don't Cry, it was, to sum it up, it seemed like it was about being a bigger girl in the sport, and then kind of having to come to terms with your size and what that means for you participating in the sport. Is that about right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It started because somebody I thought was a friend of mine was actually saying things behind my back that, oh yeah, she competes in jiu-jitsu. She's fat. She can't do that. And I'm like, watch me.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, instead of getting angry, why not just say it is, thank you, Captain Obvious. I'm a big girl, but that doesn't mean that I can't do things. And it doesn't stop me. Would I like to be skinnier? Yeah. Would I like to be able to just walk into a department store and be like, oh my gosh, that dress is adorable, and put it on and be like, awesome. Yes.
Listen, that I'm with you. I had to come to terms being big, but I am still bitter. It's kind of the same with shoes, because I wear a size 13.
Oh, bless your heart.
I know, it's rough. But like, you go and see, like, oh my God, this is so cute. And you're like, well, I'm not a 9, so I can't wear these shoes. Or you see like pants, oh, these pants are so cute. And it's like size 8, and it goes up to 12. Like, that's like the size of my arm. Like, sure, it's a dream.
Yes. So in, doing this sport, and I actually got a chance to fight my first MMA fight in October.
What?
Yes, unfortunately, my opponent broke her clavicle. So.
Oh.
I know. I'm so disappointed, but I'm still training. But everybody has noticed. They're like, "Oh my gosh, you're losing so much weight," and I'm like, "Cool."
Like, what? Me? No.
I'm like, I don't notice it. Yeah. I put on a shirt the other day, and I'm like, "Oh, this shirt fits." So, I mean, yeah, we're all under construction all the time. So,
yeah. So, wait a minute. So we just rewind. Started this because you're like, oh, I want to get kicked in the leg. And then you're like, oh no, I changed my mind. I don't want that. And now you're training to do an MMA fight. See, all these things aren't connected to me. Just.
Well, let me back up to that. One time I held pads for Justin Overton, who's a Bellator fighter down in Oklahoma, and he was doing knees, and I don't want to get kicked ever by him. So that's a no.
I'm good.
Yeah. But no, so jokingly the opportunity came up for me to take a fight, and I'm like, you know what, I really need this in my life. Going through a separation, and it would give me something to focus on that's positive.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the whole reason why I even started with Joe in the first place. And so it's like, yeah, let's do it. Let's knock it off the bucket list.
Like, why not? Just do it. That is actually insane. Awesome. But insane. I am a huge, like we spoke about our last interview. We spoke with oh God, it's like her name is like, oh, Sam Seth, and she's an MMA fighter. And I was like, I love MMA so much. Like, I am a hardcore, probably watch more than any sane person should. There's no way in hell I'm letting another grown woman punch me in the face.
Well, that's why you got to block so you don't get punched in the face.
See, I can do offense or defense. I cannot do both at the same time. My brain does not work that way. I learned that out in Muay Thai very quickly. I can't, like, I can hold mitts. I'm pretty good at holding mitts. But like when it comes time to like punch and block, no, I'll get knocked out very quickly, very brutally. And I'm big, so when I fall, it will be a whole thing. So no. I said it very quickly. So, well, hopefully you get someone else, and oh God, please, woman, heal from the broken clavicle. There's this.
Right, bless her heart.
That just sounds terrible.
Right.
Oh gosh. So when you first started, you talked about how you came in, you like all these, models on the mat, and you're like, if it was like to me, I was like, okay, here I am, and you go on the mat and you try it, like. How did it, let me rephrase this, like, how did you eventually adjust? Because I feel like it takes some time to, like we were talking about, get used to being the close physical contact. And once you get over the physical contact, there's still just this thing like, okay, I'm a big body on somebody who's not that big bodied. How's this gonna work?
Yeah, I can't really say that there was like one pivotal moment in my life. But just being there, all the guys, would say, oh, hey, how are you? Are you gonna start training? No, I'm not gonna do that. So, but they were like super nice and very, not one of them was like, you don't belong here. You're fat, go home. Everybody was just like super excited. And the one girl that I was working with, she had a torn labrum, and, bless her heart, she's like, you're too big for me. I can't really train for you or with you because, she was injured. And so that really screwed up my brain. And I'm like, well, what am I going to do? And the guys would just, bless their hearts, they would work with me. But I was really kind of injured or worried about injuring them being so big. And I didn't realize, it's fine. I'll get used to it. And just like, whenever somebody new trains with me, Joe's like, you're not going to break her. Just go. You're fine. So I can't really say that there was one pivotal moment, but everybody was just so encouraging at my gym and just very, and once I got my first gi, everybody's like, nice gi, and I'm like, oh, they noticed me, and it's like you don't learn anybody's names, they're blue belt, because everybody comes and goes. So
listen, there's some blue belts in my gym, I'm like, who's that again? Yeah
exactly.
I'm just joking, everybody, I know y'all's names.
Mr. Smith.
Sir, I got you. But isn't getting like, especially like us being bigger, when you get like the gi and it fits, aren't you like, don't you feel like a little kid who like just got a new pair of sneakers for school? Like
Yes.
You just like put it on. For me, whenever I get new gear in general, I'm like, I put it on in my house. I'm just like, ooh, look at that. Striking a pose.
Well, the very first gi that I got, I had to get for what the width was the size. And so I had to alter it because it's like putting on my daddy's suit coat when I was a kid. And then trying to shrimp in it for the first time. And I didn't even know what the heck a shrimp was. And I'm like, what are we going to eat? What the hell is a shrimp? And now I got to do it in my dad's suit coat, and it's hot. And,
so hot.
Yes. And then my next gi fit even worse. But then I found the 93 brand, and I got they have a size A2H. Fits perfectly, and I love it so much. And yes, you're right. It's just like, look at me. I got a
Yeah.
knee.
That's what I'm saying. That's one thing I'll tell people is like, you think you have it hard, man. You try being very small or very big. You are fresh out of luck. You can find them, but it like you if you feel like you're going through like some deep dark search on the web, like oh dang, it's not husky size. I can't use it. It's like, oh, is this curvy? Ah, it's straight. Oh god, it's like it's the straight cut. It's like I need curvy.
Yes, and I have a high waist, so
Mhm.
it has to be like, old man pant, up
Mhm.
around my ribs. Otherwise, halfway through the roll, it's rolling down,
It's
and I'm like,
falling down.
I just don't even care. There's my underwear. That's what it looks
Okay,
like.
this is what I will plug. I recommend this for every big girl who like has like spillage problems. Singlet. Wear a singlet underneath your gi. It solves all of life's problems. And don't get a men's singlet. Get a women's cut singlet. You can get them on you can get them from like Asics on Amazon. They fluctuate between like 20 and 30 bucks. I've worn them since a white belt. It is like the best thing ever.
Is it hard though when you have to go pee like really bad?
Oh yeah, no, that's annoying. That's just the price of entry. You gotta just like suck that up. It is what it is. But you just pop it down. The only time it really, really sucks is at a competition. It's like so like I put the singlet on so I don't have to wear anything underneath my gi pants, but I'll still put a rash guard on. So like if something happens and I'm in full gear and I have to pee, I'm just like, oh God, whoosh, pulling it down. So you have like you end up with your rash guard like sitting around your neck. Sometimes you just kind of scoot your belt up, your jacket's pulled back, and the singlet, it's a thing. It's like make sure you use the bathroom. It's
Oh my gosh.
right before. But
Yes.
other than that, it's just a freaking breeze. I like it for like Muay Thai. I'll just wear my singlet and like a t-shirt on top. Just let the thighs go out. Oh, it's like
I'm gonna have to try that.
it's a comfort choice, and they have bigger sizes too. I think I'm like a 2X. They have a 2 or 3XL. So look, I'm probably like a 3X, but we get in a 2X and it's fine because I'm not spending any more money.
Yeah, that'd be helpful, especially when you're boxing. You don't have to try and
really
pants up.
I'll shoot you the link. I'll shoot the link. It's a game changer.
I told all the guys, I'm like, look, we've reached that status. You're just gonna have to pull my pants up for me. That's just what's happening.
I hit that point where I want to say about 2 or 3 years ago, maybe, where I started wearing shorts again because I just didn't wear shorts. I didn't like showing my legs. I just felt uncomfortable. And I finally was like, you know what? Screw this. Throw these thighs out here. And ever since then, I was to gym like, look out, boys, because no gi. Tori doesn't wear spats anymore. We wear shorts. They're gonna clap you on the side. They might hit your face. It kind of is what it is. If you can roll and like your hairy chest can go across my face, you can deal with a couple thigh slaps.
Exactly.
Yeah. I understand that. So all right, so back to your article and back to like, well, more so being a larger girl in the sport. I hear from sometimes that jujitsu can be so like it can be either beneficial to like body image and self-esteem, but it could also be a hindrance. Have you felt that it's kind of done that back and forth for you, or did you think that's been really beneficial?
Oh, it's been super beneficial for me. Number one, I can eat breakfast because I don't have to cut weight.
There you go.
Sorry, everybody else. But no, it's everything that I've done in jiu-jitsu has just been wonderful. It's been wonderful for my confidence, my body issues, and now I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna wear those shorts. I feel good in these shorts, and I can kick your ass 5 ways to Sunday if you don't like it. So it's the body image now. It's me. This is me. Would I like to change things? Absolutely. But do I want to have garlic bread? Yeah, I do.
that's That's basically what it is. I'm laughing because I'm literally about to make some garlic bread after we get off. Well, the reason I asked is like one of the things that we really big at the Mighty Dame is supporting the idea, not just of, we support healthy and positive body image, but also like body confidence and self-compassion. Sometimes we get hard. Everyone is hard on themselves, but I feel like when you're in a sport, especially when a sport centered around weight classes, and that is very physical, it can mess with you at times. So being able to just be like, look, okay,
Right.
we know where we're at. We can either be positive about it and like, continue to work on changes with a good attitude, or we can try the other way and try to make changes from a place of negativity and suffer along the way. I prefer to smile. So,
Yeah. I'm with you in that respect too. And there's actually a song by Pink, and the title escapes me right now. But part of the lyrics were, "You're so mean when you talk to yourself. You were wrong. Change the voices in your head and make them like you instead." And I was just like, duh. How
Yep.
easy is that? And I've always been, kind of a happy-go-lucky person. But just realizing that I don't have to say that, "Oh, God, you're so stupid," and, you did that all wrong and you failed. I can be like, okay, you didn't get that, but what can you do to fix it? And you're not stupid. You just didn't know. So now learn about it and fix those voices in your head.
Absolutely. We're our own worst critics. Like 9 times out of 10. I mean, there's some jackasses in this world, but 9 times out of 10, it's like we are so much harder on ourselves than anyone else. Because in reality, I just got back from a camp, and one of the instructors was talking about competing, how in your mind you're like, okay, this is it, everyone's watching me, and then in reality there's like 3 people watching you. Nobody cares. Like no one cares but you, and you're the only one suffering from it. So what is even the point of just dragging yourself down for this ideal that you're just hoping you're going to feel happier once you hit it? But as someone like myself who has yo-yo dieted, had disordered eating for so long, whenever I reached a point weight wise that I set for myself when I was like not doing it healthily or from a place of positivity, it didn't, like I hit it, I was like, yeah. Still don't like myself. And like you talked about, it takes a while. It takes you just a constant reminding of like, you know what, it's okay. Why don't we like ourselves? Like, what is going on here? How can we fix this? How can we do better? And I think I'm really glad that you found that, and we need more people to find that, and more of them to find it earlier, so that they don't go trudge through years of self-doubt and all the fun that comes along with that.
Right. There's a lot of years that I self-sabotaged, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
But that was just because of my relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But in finding jujitsu really saved me. It destroyed my relationship, but it saved me. And I'm a better mom, I'm a better woman, I'm a better friend because of it. So
that's awesome. I think sometimes what happens is we cling to chaos.
Yes, exactly.
We cling to things out of a sense of familiarity and kind of like blinded optimism that like, oh, this is good for me. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. And then you have something that comes into your life like a jujitsu, and you realize actually there's a whole other way that I could exist, like a better way I could exist. But in order to do that, I'm going to have to cut some ties. And it's scary at first. It's actually like life-alteringly shocking. But once you do it, like at least for me, there's this weight, like when you open a Sprite, like a really crispy cold Sprite, it's like, and you like, oh, you just kind of can settle into it.
Yes.
Like that's kind of
Yes.
that's how it felt for me. And for you, it was, you know, getting out of a relationship. For me, it was leaving a job. And if I didn't have some of the tools that I gained through jujitsu, I probably would have like trudged through and suffered through for a couple more years until I just completely snapped on everyone.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it took my best friend Sherry to be like, this isn't you. You
Mhm.
know, you are so much happier when you're on the mats, but as soon as you get off, it's just, you know, it's just not you. And
Mhm.
she says that makes me really sad. And I'm like, oh, oh, let's start examining some things here.
Isn't it crazy that you could be like going on living your life thinking you have everything so well hidden, and then someone who's close to you be like, listen, we need to have a little talk, and they tell you like, you can see this.
Right,
Damn.
exactly. I've been so used to hiding it, and you know, somebody's like, "Hey, sister." No, that's not right.
Just so you know, we know, and
Yeah.
that's really awesome. So how are you what's your training situation right now in this lovely COVID era that we're living in? Are you able to get some training in on the mats, or is it kind of like restricted? I don't know, because it varies state to state now.
Right. So in Abilene, it's not restricted at all. So
Okay.
we're able to roll up there. But unfortunately, a week and a half ago, I rolled my ankle so bad.
Ooh.
So that kind of hindered that. And then my gym in Manhattan, which is in Riley County, they're still under a little bit of restriction.
Okay.
So I go there and kind of just do get some cardio built up. So,
Okay.
but we've been pretty fortunate here. We were shut down, you know, for the first initial.
So
I
you
think it
guys did
was,
it right.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm
So,
in Florida. We did not.
oh yeah, you're in a hot spot.
We said fuck it in May, and then so yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, that was definitely. I think it was like, I don't know, 8 weeks off. That was bad. That was, bless my friends' hearts. They stuck with me through not being able to train, and um, my mind was just, like I said, I'm an overthinker, overanalyzer,
Mhm.
not being able to put that away. But my friends really stepped up and kept me busy. So
That's awesome. Yeah, I will see your 8 weeks, and I will raise you 4 months. I didn't.
oh,
Yeah, I think I started training. I stopped in March, and I started back up in July. Yeah.
oh wow.
It was because in Florida we got locked down. You know, the gyms were closed until I want to say like June, and then even when they opened up, we couldn't just do. We're at the point now. Everyone just here is just pretending like it's not a big deal as our numbers and deaths continue to rise. We're like, oh no, it's totally fine. It's totally fine. We're going to be awesome, but we'll see how that
Yeah.
goes.
We followed the restrictions, but you know that in Abilene, it's a small rural area,
Yeah,
so you know, Kansas is now, you know, running up there in numbers, but we've been pretty fortunate out here at least. So
that's good.
yeah,
Good. Yeah. Well, stay safe. And yeah, for everyone listening, if you're sick, keep your ass at home. Don't be that guy. No,
exactly.
it's the flu. Stay home. Um, okay, well, this has been a blast talking to you. But we're gonna do the mighty minute where I'm gonna ask you rapid fire questions. Um, we're gonna try to get as many as we can in 60 seconds. I will have comments on your answers. I'm not saying there's any wrong answers, but
There's wrong answers. Yeah, I get
totally
it.
wrong answers. In the world of Tori, there's wrong answers, but as long as they're not like super egregious, we can let them slide. So I'm gonna put
Okay.
60 seconds
So
on my
be ready
clock.
to defend this.
Please. All right, I'm actually gonna put like a little bit more because I tend to stutter. I'm gonna start after I ask the first question. Ready?
Yes.
Okay. What age did you stop believing in Santa?
I still do.
What color is your car?
It's blue.
Cats or dogs?
Cats,
What's your favorite dessert?
strawberries, with anything.
Name a guilty pleasure.
uh, uh, reading, I guess. I don't know.
Morning
I
or
would say
night
the other,
person?
but that's inappropriate.
Morning or night person?
Oh, definitely night. Mornings suck.
How tall are you?
5'6".
What's your favorite Disney movie?
Beauty and the Beast.
Bar soap or liquid soap?
Oh, liquid.
How many push-ups can you do?
In a row, probably like
Yes.
20, and all day, probably like 300.
Okay. What was your favorite book growing up?
To Kill a Mockingbird, actually.
What is the lowest grade you ever received in high school?
Oh, that was a D.
Do you eat fortune cookies?
Yeah.
And what's your favorite fruit?
Strawberries and or oranges.
All right. Okay. Oh, I definitely have some questions for you now. Okay. First of all, you like cats over dogs? I mean, I don't like either one of them, but cats are so freaking obnoxious.
Yeah, but you can leave a cat home for days with water and food and don't have to
Okay, if we're
have
talking
someone
about
babysit it.
ease of care, cats all day. They do not need it. They in their minds, we are there to serve them. They're not needed. But like if I'm gonna go through like the whole process of getting a pet, I damn well better be acknowledged by said pet. And no one makes you feel more acknowledged than the dog because they like, hey, where you going? I'll just come too.
Well, actually, I tried to stop on the way home the other day and grab some raccoons that are on the side of the road, but my son, like, no. So,
No, we're good with that. No. Okay, what else was there? Let's see. Beauty and the Beast, really?
Yes, because I love to read and I just wanted to be Belle. I'm weird and I like to read and make friends with weird creatures. So
I have no strong objection to that. That was a movie that I don't think I actually watched until I was older. So it was like, oh, okay, yellow dress, little bear. Okay, cool. But did you watch the live action remake that they did with Emma?
I did. Yeah,
What did
it
you
was
think of
pretty
that?
good. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I've had issues with all of the Disney remakes, I think, but that one.
Good. Oh, I can't wait for Mulan to come out.
Oh my God. Do you see where it's coming out on Disney Plus?
Yes, September 4th.
Yeah. Oh my, I'm so freaking excited for that. Because that one, because to me, my one of my favorites is Mulan, because she was just badass. She's like, I don't need you. Shh, shh. Family honor, save my dad. Like she was just awesome. After generations of like prince saving princess is like, actually, I'm gonna save my whole damn country. You're welcome.
Exactly.
So that one is. I will say, like the Lion King remake, I wanted it to be good. It was so weird.
That's what I've heard. I haven't seen it yet.
Don't. If you want to get like the experience of it, just watch the Black is King thing from Beyonce on Disney Plus. It's much better than anything in that movie, because they did this when they did like Jungle Book. It's like you need animation because you can make animals emote. You can make them a little bit more realistic. You can't have CGI tigers. I mean CGI lions with feelings. It doesn't work. Like they're having the scene, where Scar's holding Mufasa. He falls, dies. Simba runs up, dad, and like you're hearing him like, Dad, someone help me, anybody. But the eyes are staring like this into your soul. I was like, no, this is creepy. Please make it stop. So honestly, if you're gonna watch it, like I don't know if you drink, but drink, then it'll be fun. But besides that,
will do.
Just
margarita night with the girls. Got it.
Just listen to the Black is King thing from Beyonce, because at least that seems more, has more influences from Africa. It's just fun. It's fun because God, Lion King wasn't. It's so bad. And also, I have a whole rant on the Lion King movie. But also, it's like Beyonce's a voice actor, and she shouldn't be because she's Beyonce, and her voice is too distinctive. That it's like, you know, when like certain actors hit to a certain point, they can no longer be the person they're portraying. They are themselves.
Right.
It's like that. Like when you see the person, you're not thinking like, oh, this is Nala. It's like, oh, Beyonce's is a lion. Cool. And that's all I hear through the whole. It's like Nala's Beyonce. So it's kind of trippy. Okay, liquid or bar soap. I have no objections to this because I use both. Shameless plug, Jiu-Jitsu soap company, dope bar soap.
Yeah, well, and our beard companies actually were starting to make bar soap, and he gave me an example. He's like, use it, and I'm like, ew, I don't want to.
Yeah, you have. I didn't even ask that. So you have a beardy company thingy.
Yes.
What is that? Tell me what that's about.
Well, so my friend Isaac just has tons of stuff going on, and he's getting to be in bare knuckle fighting. He's a pro MMA fighter, brown belt in jiu-jitsu, and he has this beard, and he tried a bunch of beard products that didn't really work well for him, and he was a biochemist at K-State. And
nice.
So he's like, talk me out of doing a beard care company. And I'm like, well, why don't you? And he's like, fine, but you're doing it with me.
It was a trap.
Okay. So we've gone to beard competitions, but they're very weird. So we've been doing it for about 2 years now. So
what's the name of the company?
Vanandi Beard Company.
Okay, we'll make sure to include links on there if you guys want to check it out. So you say you do, what kind of products do you serve? You say you talked about the soap. As you see, I don't have a beard. I don't know what goes into beard care. So what kind of products are we talking here?
We do oils, butters, and balms. And actually the beard oils, because, you know, I have all this. I actually use the oil, and it kind of helps calm my curls down.
Okay.
So
dual purpose.
Yeah, but you know, guys don't want to use girl products, so we try not to market that aspect of it.
Gotcha.
But we got oils, butters, and balms, and starting to delve into a little bit of soap.
Okay.
And we're going to kind of make a sister company.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that's kind of exciting.
Isn't it cool that like nowadays, like you and your friends can just have a nice idea, like, I think I'm going to do this. You're like, sure, yeah, let's do it.
Well, you know, to be honest, when he said it, I'm like, well, why don't you? Thinking he's not going to do it.
Like, do it then.
And he did. And, you know, we go places, we sing Disney songs in the car. And
okay, so what's the go-to Disney song? Like you're driving and like, you know, you have your modes like, oh, I need to listen to this. What is it?
Let's get down to business.
Yes. That song is so good. Do you do like when it's like to the feet? Do you do like the hand gestures too?
Oh yeah, we got a whole routine. Yeah.
Oh God. Whenever my sister and I go on road trips, we're musical kids. Like I'm a band nerd, is in band my whole life. And I reluctantly dragged her into band for like a half a season while we were in college for her to get some extra money. Like, hey, you can come to college with me, you get some extra money. So she played cymbals for 6 months and hated it. But I got her involved in musicals. So we go through, first we start out with Rent. And then we move to, trust me on this, Shrek the Musical has some bangers in there. Has some really good songs that I didn't anticipate. Highly recommend.
Check that out. Yeah.
Highly recommend Shrek the Musical. It used to be on Netflix. I don't know if it still is, but if you can find Shrek the Musical, treat yourself.
Right.
And now that Hamilton's out, she does.
Oh my gosh, I love Hamilton. Love it.
She had a countdown when they announced it was going to be on Disney Plus. This whole show is basically a plug for Disney Plus.
Right, exactly. Yes.
But she had to have watched that thing like 4 times within the first 2 days. She watched it once, she's like, oh, that was good. Okay, let's start again from the beginning.
Yeah, exactly. It is so wonderfully written, and I love how the songs just kind of intersperse in each other, and it's so smart, and just the ending is just like gets me every time. And
So, oh
King
my God,
George,
don't you start crying?
yes,
Damn, Eliza.
I know.
Okay, so are you Team Eliza or are you like Team Angelica? Like, which one
Oh,
are you for?
you
Gotta
know
pick.
what? I've been in both situations, so I can kind of. I can kind of relate. So I don't know.
I always come on, pick one.
I can be Angelica because unrequited loves. I gotta go with Angelica.
I have to say, like myself, it's like the way I think about it is like Angelica is the one that you want Angelica. You have the chemistry. Everything is like, it's perfect, but you'd probably be terrible together. And Eliza is the one that you need in, like, it's not like it's nothing there, but you need Eliza in your life. Because to be honest, no one else is going to put up with Alexander shit. So
Exactly.
I always say that, like, he got it great. Like, you can keep your flirtation up. Everyone kind of knows the situation here. It's kind of fluid. We know, but like at the end of the day, Eliza is bae. Eliza had all your kids. She took you back after all your bullshit. She tells your story. Like,
I know.
like, and damn, she lived to be like 90 something, right? Like,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. I love Angelica, but I'm kind of Team Eliza because I just feel like she was the glue.
That's true. That's true.
And I like how everyone is. What we were saying, me and my sister were saying about the play is like everyone likes to think they're Alexander, but really they're a Burr. And Burr got a bad rap. Burr was just trying to get in where he could. And he just
yeah.
That is life. And when I asked about the high school grade, you seemed very upset about this D.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So I was a cheerleader, and my teacher was dance team sponsor, and she didn't like the cheerleaders, and I'm sure that had nothing to do with it, but I'm still kind of salty about it.
All these years.
Yes, it's to the point where I was gonna have to redo my senior year because of the stupid grade, and I'm like,
no. So like it stuck with you.
Oh yeah. I see her all the time on Facebook, and I'm like, I am not being friends with you. You missed out on all this awesomeness.
That is awesome. And then I asked if you eat the fortune cookies because, like, I don't eat them. I always try to, and then I realized don't like how these taste.
Oh my gosh, I love them, especially when you dip them in the vanilla ice cream that they have. Oh yeah, awesome.
No, thank you. I can't. Like, I always try because they used to tell me, like, if you don't eat your fortune cookie, the fortune can't come true. You know, your little kid's like, I want this fortune. So I'm like crunchy, and I'm eating. I'm just like. I like chug down, drink to like make it wash it down. But then
there's definitely some better than others, but yeah.
Oh well, what I always do is like what I would do. I got to the point then where I cracked the fortune. I look, I was like, don't need this to come true. Fuck you, cookie. And I be done with it. But
my own fortune.
But now my kid sister's her dog, he freaking loves fortune cookies. I don't know what it is. He loves fortune cookies. So like. He hears the wrapper. He's, hey, so like as you're opening it, like you could crack it here. His nose is right here, just like waiting for you to push it in another hand so he can grab it. So I was like, oh, this is awesome because the cookie gets eaten and my fortune can still come true. Dope.
It doesn't say it has to be eaten by you. So
Yeah, no, it just
there you go.
has to be eaten. And that I've seen him eat grass. So like he ate my couch at one point. So like he literally will eat anything. But oh my gosh, this was so much fun. Thank you for coming on. This was awesome.
Sure.
We're going to include the link to your article. We'll repost that through the group. It's a really great little piece. We'll also include the link to your to the beard
And the photography.
and your photographer. God, just a woman of many talents. What's your photography stuff?
It is Kimura's Photos.
Okay.
Kimura, Kim Morris.
I see what you did. That little play on it. We'll add it on there, and you can also find all of these links under the Beyond the Mat section on the new I was supposed to say the new Girls and Geese on the new Mighty Dames website that will be it's live by the time this is out. So yeah, make sure to go on that, and that has all businesses by Dames. Make sure to look on there and support them. And one more thing before we leave, because I forgot to ask this, you said your nickname's the Cleaner.
Yes.
Explain.
My bestie Scott, he last year at Sunflower State Games, I don't know if you guys have like state games. So
yeah.
So I cleaned house. I took 4 gold medals and both belts in no-gi and gi in the absolute. And then the mob term, the cleaner, is the loyal one who disrupts the scene, that throw everybody off, and he's like,
okay, that's
that
pretty
fits
dope.
you.
I thought you were gonna do some I'm a mom and I clean. Much better story. I like that. Yeah. Kim the Cleaner. Hell yeah. Well, thanks for doing this. I've had a blast.
Thank you as well.
Awesome.